Welcome to Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. For the month of July, we are going to be covering all things summer. And the first big thing happening in summer in the Comox Valley is, of course, the Vancouver Island Music Fest. Joining me is Artistic Director Doug Cox. Hi.
Hi.
Now, we are here at the Cumberland Hotel because, unfortunately, on the day we're filming, it's absolutely miserable outside. It feels like October, but I'm sure it's going to get better before the festival.
Yeah, it's nice to get this weather out of the way right now.
It is. Now, how many years have you done the Music Fest?
I think this is 22, 21 or 22.
What is the secret? Because it's really successful.
Tequila.
And how does tequila play a role?
Well, we have backstage. We have some magnificent tequila slushy machines, and it seems to make everybody happy.
For some strange reason.
Anytime there's a problem, you just give someone a slushy.
Yeah.
No, honestly, the success of the festival is based on our 1,300 volunteers. The quality of what we do. People have grown to trust us. They know that even if they don't necessarily know everybody in the lineup, they're going to find something that they really like. They know that their kids are going to be safe and have a good experience there. We treat everybody very fairly, and I think that's super important. So for the people that are coming for the whole weekend kind of experience of a festival, we've created a really safe zone where people are respected, you know.
I think the one thing that stands out for me, separating it from some of the other music fests that seem to be dogged by bad publicity around, you know, partying into the wee hours and things getting out of control. I've never heard that ever coming out of the Comox Valley exhibition grounds, but it's the inclusiveness of the family unit and kids. You've even got a kids zone, which is a huge area.
Yeah,
like, people entertaining them.
That's what we're all about, right? That's what's really important to everybody that's involved in the festival. We're not a for-profit organization. We're a non-profit organization. So when you look at festivals like Pemberton, for example, that just went down, they were a for-profit event. They were really a big rock concert disguised as a festival.
Oh, okay.
We're a community event run by the community, run by people that live in the community, and invested in by many of the businesses in the community. So there's a lot of people that really trust and buy into what we do. And that's going to keep the thing healthy.
You mentioned 1,300 volunteers?
Yeah.
That's like a small army.
It is, yeah. They all have guns too, but you know.
Water guns.
No, tequila guns.
All right, now this year's lineup, pretty impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, there's everything. If you like country music, there's Emmylou Harris. There's the Bare Naked Ladies.
Awesome.
One of the bands I'm really excited about is Robert Randolph and the Family Band, which is kind of like the best slide guitar player on the planet. It's playing sort of the music of Sly and the Family Stone, that kind of a thing.
Great.
All kinds of stuff. There's bands from the Ukraine and Africa, all over the place. So there should be a little bit of something for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Doug, I know that you are heading off because you have a bazillion meetings to have between now and the festival. So in closing, good luck with this year's festival, and thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you. We'll see you there.
All right. You're watching Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. Coming up next, a little sneak peek into some more summer fun. Welcome to Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We are at the Puntledge River. Joining me is Stephen Watson from BC Hydro, and we're going to talk about summer safety on the water. So one of the biggest concerns, because you have how many dams up the...
Well, we have the Comox Dam, which holds back water in the Comox Lake Reservoir, and then we have about 4 kilometers downstream the Puntledge River Diversion Dam, where water, it's a penstock to the powerhouse, 5 kilometers downstream, it's just upstream here. And then we have a fish habitat flow down Stoughton Falls and Barbers Hole. So flows can change for various reasons. This year, we actually have an abundance of water supply. And right now, we actually are releasing a bit of water because of mid-June or with the snow melt and some wet weather that we've had. But with continuing through into June and July, this year, unlike others, like tubers, which have float by here, this flow is at least double what they're used to. And so what that
okay.
means is when people get in there with their tubes, and there can be up to a couple thousand people a day that enter the system off Powerhouse Road, it's just the hazards that exist with flows like this, and there's woody debris on the edges of the river, and that can create a big hazard.
Now, is there also a bit of an undertow in the river?
Well, there is, and really about a foot of water can knock an adult down in terms of flow. And so people, even when you're wading out, whether you're at Stoughton Falls, raised like that,
Okay.
a foot of water can knock you down depending on the speed.
Wow.
So the river hydraulics and the currents, and you know, you don't really see it in the surface, but underneath, absolutely.
Okay.
You need to be aware of that.
So, looking ahead to end of July, August, anticipating hot weather, that's what they're predicting. So how is that going to affect the water flows?
Well, the flows in the river, we'll be able to generate some power because the reservoir's full.
Okay.
And going through July, certainly there'll be generating power. Into August, September, we'll see what happens. Could turn really dry all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But going through July into August, the river flows will be higher, I think, than normal, so people
Okay.
should be aware of that. The other side of it is we have a siren system for our dams, for unplanned flow events and things of those nature.
Okay.
And we have a new system we just upgraded. We follow the
great.
Canadian Dam Association guidelines.
Yeah.
It's a new sound. People get used to that. Hopefully it doesn't go off too often. But that'll be implemented this summer too to provide that extra safety awareness. So should something happen in the river, people can hear it and move out of the river when that takes place.
All right. So what does it sound like? We should
Well,
probably-
it's gone from a air raid siren to the audible sound danger, river levels rising, to
Oh.
a whooping sound.
Cool.
And so it's a whooping sound, and it's better angled so it's in the river and not to just get people near the residents, but people
Yeah.
still going to hear it
Yeah.
and get used to that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. Well, Stephen, thank you so much.
thank you.
And have a great summer.
Thank you. Yeah, you too.
You're watching Where You Live. We will be right back with an update from Sue Wood on Nautical Days. You're watching Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We have left Puntledge River Park with Stephen Watson, and now we have arrived at Marina Park here in the town of Comox. And Sue Wood, who is the producer of Nautical Days, is with us.
Welcome to the glorious sunshine of Marina Park
I
on this
know.
beautiful summer day.
Yes, it's spectacular.
yes.
Nautical Days. Let's talk Nautical Days.
Yes, let's. Well, it's the 59th year. It's going to be a whole new thing down here because we have a wonderful new development in the park.
Yes.
And it will be complete by Nautical Days. And it's going to include the new splash park, the Comox Rotary Splash Park.
Did you know that? There's going to be a splash park and a new playground in a great big circle. It's so cool.
It's very cool. You may be able to see that just under construction. And here's some of the construction that's happening
that's what's
behind
going
us.
on behind us.
But we're all going to have the same wonderful things that we always do, as well as the new things that we're doing.
So where's the stage going to go? Is it still going to go in the same place?
Yeah, we're going to put the stage in the normal spot. This is the plan now.
Okay.
You know, things could
may
change
change.
because
Okay.
we have all sorts of new things to manage. But we have an outstanding lineup of entertainment, 100+ craft booths.
Okay.
The kids' rides and things will be adjacent to the new splash park, so that's going
So
to be
they can go on a ride, they can go run around in the water, they can go on another ride, they can go back and run on the water.
Then they can run
go-
over to the mini donuts
Yes.
and get a mini donut, or go get an
Oh.
ice cream, or have
And there's a
ho-
pirate ship, and they can
In
climb
the
on
playground.
and they can climb on the pirate ship, and that's part of the playground.
Yes.
And then they can go for another run around in the water.
You know, the
So
things
cool.
that they can do that will make them wet for the entire festival is quite wonderful. But the overall festival still has the wonderful build, bail, and sail. Still
Yeah.
has the hole-in-one off.
Yes.
They shoot the golf ball into the ocean and try to hit the marker. We have the bullhead derby.
Yeah, that's the fishing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the kids, the vintage car show is back this year, and we're very
Okay.
happy to have them back. The endless,
It is endless.
the dragon boat
Is there
races are
fish
here.
toss again?
Fish toss is coming back again.
right.
It's fantastic. Now you did pretty well that year.
I
in the
did.
fish toss. You did not win.
I did not win.
No, but you
But
were.
I
you
came.
were. They don't know. You can tell them you came for your second.
Well, no, I was trying to think because we were the second last couple.
yeah.
So we lost. So we came second. So we came second.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, I
She
did.
did. No, she did.
It was
But
close.
you were super brave.
I was super
You
brave.
didn't dodge the fish at all. You
No,
threw
I was
yourself
like,
in the way of the hurtling fish, which was really
Yes.
fun. So we're very
and those are
excited to have that
super
back.
slippery. People don't realize. But you're covered in head to toe in fun gear. Like you've got even a hair thing on because the fish guts, when
Now,
they're taught, they go
no,
everywhere.
no, they don't. It's lovely. Now, people should know that all of the fish from the fish toss are donated to
Yes.
Avian Rescue.
Yes.
And they feed the eagles and the other birds with all of these fish. So it
Right.
really is a benevolent game as
Yes,
well. So
it's
it's
not-
really, really
it's
good.
not a wasteful
Really
game.
good.
It's
so,
fun.
Nautical Days, wall-to-wall entertainment. We're activating the new sail buildings with a series of things happening over there we're calling At the Sails.
At
and
the
that's
Sails,
going to
okay.
include everything from early morning yoga to Zumba to
Cool.
sing-alongs to
Love it.
all of that kind of stuff. So all in all, we are so excited to put together another wonderful 3-day free festival of family fun for everybody.
Yes.
Come down, have the food, play the games,
Okay, let's talk
enjoy
about
the
food.
music.
What's some of the food?
Well, of course,
Some
mini
of the foodie.
donuts. We have all sorts of new food trucks coming down.
Okay.
We have everything you can imagine, from popcorn to apples to hot dogs to delicious gourmet burgers.
Okay.
You name it, we've got it.
Okay. And let's talk about the musicians.
Oh, well.
Pick three.
Pick three. I am delighted to tell you that for the first time, Big Little Lions will be performing
Cool.
at Comox Nautical Days.
That's awesome.
They're coming on Monday afternoon. We
Great.
have done a wonderful job. Entertainment director John
Yeah.
Mang has done a wonderful job of pairing musicians with other musicians, and they're working up new music and doing something that
Great.
nobody has seen before. So
Yeah.
these are all local musicians because we're a very local festival, and
Yes.
we really do pride ourselves on showcasing the very best of Comox and Comox Valley.
Okay,
And
so
these-
that's one. Pick two more.
Well, the fabulous Sioux Medley, of course.
Okay.
And of course, the wonderful Time Well Wasted are going to fill the park with some
okay.
of the most incredible music just ahead of the
Okay.
fabulous quality food fireworks extravaganza.
And when is that?
Monday night,
What time?
10:15, those fireworks go, and Time
Okay.
Well Wasted kicks it off at 9 p.m.
Okay, and I have to say, like I've seen a lot of fireworks in my lifetime. I grew up in Southern Ontario at the Windsor Detroit fireworks. These almost rival those, and we're talking.
Excuse me. Almost. I have to
But
tell
of
you.
all-
but
but
let me
it's-
tell you.
they're
'cause
fantastic.
This year, Quality Foods is killing it with these fireworks because they're celebrating Canada 150, and they're using the music of Juno Award winners to program the
Cool.
fireworks. So that's
That's
going to
wicked.
include our Juno Award winners in the Valley: Sioux Medley, Helen Austin.
Yeah.
And there's two more that I can't remember right now.
That's
but
okay.
it
That's
just-
awesome.
We are over the moon about that, and so
That's
it's going to be a
amazing.
spectacular show.
Okay, love it. Okay, well, Sue, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have fun on Nautical Days. It's going
Come
to be
to
bright
Nautical
and
Days.
sunny, and bring the kids.
Another
the kids
glorious
are gonna
day.
do so many things for the kids to do. I love the splash. Can parents do the splash park too?
You know, you want to put a bathing suit on and run around out there, honey? Fill your boots.
All right. We will be right back. We are going to be over at the Comox First Nation talking with Catherine Frank about tribal journeys. You're watching Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We are here at the Comox First Nation in front of their administration building, which is absolutely gorgeous. I just love this building. And joining me is Catherine Frank to talk about this year's Tribal Journeys. Now, tell us what Tribal Journeys actually is.
Tribal Journeys is just that. It's a journey for many nations and many tribes that will be paddling for many different nations, coming from Oregon State, Washington State, the West Coast, canoeing from Alaska. The journey is about reconnecting with our ancestors, reconnecting with the ocean. I believe the journey is different for everybody. I've gone on a few journeys myself, and we went to the Commonwealth Games. We've gone paddling to the Indigenous Games in 95, 94, 95. We paddled around our traditional territories. I'm up by Alert Bay, where my mother is from, and we've also done the paddling to a Howsett on the west coast. So
Wow.
I think for each person, it's a different journey.
Right.
For many people, it's about trust. It's about overcoming your fears of leaving home, hopping in a canoe and facing all the elements of from the Mother Earth. We have people, it's not just every day is a sunny day. We have very cloudy days, we have stormy days, we have days where there's longer traveling on the canoe than other days. So it's about making friendships, it's about creating memories, it's about sharing culture, it's about sharing protocols from different nations.
Excellent.
Yeah, so we have, so on August the 2nd, we will be hosting tribal journeys. And, yeah.
So on August 2nd, they actually arrive here at the Comox First Nation?
They will be arriving here. So what's going to happen is the canoes are traveling from Qualicum. So they're traveling up from Qualicum. We will be meeting at the head of the Goose Spit, canoe by canoe. Once all the canoes are gathered, there's so far, I think, 65 canoes registered at this point.
Okay.
So once the canoes are gathered there, we will proceed to the beach fronting the Comox First Nation Administration Building.
Okay.
And we will, normally what happens is it's a protocol, it's a process where the canoers that are coming from out of town will be requesting to come ashore to the Comox First Nations.
Okay.
The Comox First Nations and other people in the community and other organizations will be welcoming and co-welcoming each canoe separately to the shores of the Comox people, where we will accommodate them with a place to stay or camp out and food for the time that they're here. So.
And how long will they be staying before they go up to, it's Campbell River, right?
Campbell River, yeah.
Okay.
So they will be here August the 2nd and August the 3rd. So we will have them here for 2 nights, and they'll be staying at on the other reserve where the Puntledge campground is, but it's across the street. They won't actually be staying at the campground, so there's a space out there for them to stay.
Great. And then everybody heads up to Campbell River?
And then people will be, the paddlers will be leaving August the 4th, and they will be leaving from here as well, making their way up to, I believe they're going up to Cape Mudge as well, and then sort of just paddling over to Campbell River for the big finale on August the 5th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it's going to be a great event.
Now, are the public welcome to come and participate in some way, or?
The public is welcome. It's definitely not a closed event, but as you can clearly see here in front of the Comox First Nation with 65 canoes, we're expecting with the canoe gathering alone probably 3,000 people sort of occupying this chunk of land here, which isn't a large amount. So. We are hoping to actually kind of shut the roads down, a road closure for a couple of hours, unless you're a residential living here, or if for emergency crews. We need to sort of keep this at a minimum for traffic. So the other thing we need to do is divert the traffic in a different route. It's definitely not closed to the public though. It's open to the spectators, but we have to keep in mind that just the canoe journey alone, we're expecting about 3,000 people, and it's going to be a large amount of space already being taken up with the capacity of the reserve here.
Awesome.
So.
Well, Catherine, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It sounds like a wonderful cultural exchange, and it just is marvelous. So
Thank you. The other thing I want to make mention too is if there's volunteers that people want to come and be active in the community, if you do want a first row seat, that to help out and to volunteer would be really appreciated. The Comox First Nation is small in capacity, and we're looking for outside assistance to help with people with serving food, prepping food, parking. So there's lots of opportunity for people to come in and be a part of this event. So it's definitely the more help, the better for the Comox First Nation.
awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. And if you want to volunteer, just call the number and check out the email that's on the screen. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. You've been watching Where You Live. We'll be back after this. You're watching Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We are here at the Filberg Lodge with Susan Lewis. Now, we are talking about the Filberg Festival coming up on the long weekend in August.
Yes.
How many years?
This will be the 35th year for the festival. So we are celebrating it along with Canada's 150 and 35 years. It's a huge milestone for this festival.
It is. Now, what are some of the highlights that people coming can expect?
Well, we have 4 days of 140 artisans from all over Canada. It's a juried art show, so you're going to get a great selection. We have entertainment on the 2 stages. We've got the Comox Rotary stage, which is our main stage, and then our garden stage. This year, our garden stage is actually sponsored by a new sponsor that's supporting the festival in a big way, Peninsula Co-op, which we're really happy to have their support, island-based company. So we're looking forward to that.
Now, who are some of the performers this year?
We got David Gogo and Barney Bentel,
Really?
Jim Burns,
I love
Wooden
him.
Sky out of Toronto, which will be great. So lots of great music. And then on the garden stage, we're highlighting locals and duo performing groups from all over Canada as well.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
You know what? I recently had the privilege and pleasure of interviewing Jim Burns on our other show that I co-host with Doug Cox at
Fabulous.
Northwest Music. He was spectacular.
Yeah.
He's just so like friendly, and his stories are so funny and so in-depth about the song. Like, that's awesome that you guys have him coming.
We're thrilled that he was able to accommodate us, and also with Barney Bentel and his band coming back. I think we're going to have a great lineup. On the Monday, we've got the Time Benders out of Victoria coming. So the Time Benders are going to be able to do a show for every gender of the audience, and we're really excited about that.
Now, you always have a guest artist. Who's the guest artist this year?
Linda Sklandens, and she's a painter based in Victoria. Okay. She's been the in-house painter at the Victoria Empress for a number of years.
Oh, great. Now, what style of art does she do?
Bright colored florals, bright colored farm animals. We're going to showcase some of her florals on the backstage of the Comox Rotary stage.
Oh, neat.
So bright and vibrant colors and lots of fun to them.
That's awesome. Now, the Filberg Festival has a cost to it. There is an entry fee to come through the gate. So explain that a little bit.
We do have a gate fee of, it's $15 to get in per day and to have access to all the arts, music, food trucks, the whole property. The entry fee we charge because this is a major fundraiser. It's the fundraiser for the Filberg Heritage Lodge and Park Association. To keep this building, all these outbuildings in repair and upkeep is quite expensive because we're getting quite old in the buildings themselves. So this is our major fundraiser, and that's what we do to support it.
Well, and you know what? It's money well spent, because if you've never had the chance to come and walk the property. It is so beautiful and serene, and the mountains in the background and the flowers and the garden beds. The volunteers here do an amazing job keeping the property up.
Right. The parks are taken care of by the town of Comox and their gardening staff. So when festival rolls in, you still get a chance to see a lot of the property. It's 9 acres. A lot of it is taken up by the artisan booths, but just the setting itself, we couldn't ask for anything better.
Yeah. So $15 for everybody, is there?
Yeah, $15, and then if you wanted to buy a weekend pass, it's $50.
Oh, great.
And tickets are available at Thrifty Foods.
And Thrifty Foods everywhere on the
across
island.
Vancouver Island.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much, Susan. This sounds like it's going to be an absolutely fantastic festival this year. 35 years.
35 years. I know, that's amazing, hey?
That is amazing. All right, thank you so much
Thanks,
for your
Mary
time. You're watching Where You Live. We will be right back. You are watching Where You Live. I'm Mary Ruth Harris. We are on Channel 4, Shaw TV. Joining me is Constable Rob Gardner from the RCMP, and we are going to end this show talking all about safety, summer safety. So we've got the Comox Marina in behind us. What's the most important thing for people to remember?
You have to remember, because summer's here, we have a lot of people that are going to be out on the water. We're going to have lots of little sailboats, as you can see behind us, lots of sailboats in the harbor, a lot of people out fishing, crabbing, and just out having a good time.
Paddleboarding.
Paddleboarding, kayaking, there's a lot of activity on the water. So you have to really remember, take your time, especially when you're coming in and out of the harbor, make sure you take your time watching for everybody, and just make sure everybody's being safe. If you're going too fast or you're not doing something safe, you could injure somebody, and we don't want any of that to happen at all. Alcohol is not good to have out in the water at all. There's specific rules about having alcohol on a boat. You have to have a permanent sleeping place on the boat. You have to have a kitchen. You have to have specifics, almost like a motorhome setup. And you can be charged legally or criminal charges for having being impaired while boating. So there's no place on the water for alcohol at all. So make sure you leave the alcohol at home. You don't need it to have a good time. get out there, be safe, watch for everything that's going on, and just enjoy the amazing area that we have here to be in.
Now, speaking of amazing area, and in the summertime, we have lots of local festivals that are really big festivals. We have the Vancouver Island Music Fest, we have Nautical Days, we have Filberg Festival. This year we also have the Tribal Journeys for all the First Nations. So, and those are all land-based. Most of them are land-based, but there's always a water aspect. But lots of people, thousands of people coming to the area that aren't from here. Again, what's the safety feature about that we should talk about?
You really have to watch for people. Our traffic's going to get a lot more people in the traffic, in the highway and stuff, so you have to make sure that you're sharing the road appropriately. There's going to be lots of kids, lots of cycling, lots of walking, and just people around. So just make sure you're going slow, make sure you're being patient, and make sure you're just giving everybody a lot of extra time. If you're crossing the road, make sure you're making eye contact with the driver. Don't assume that they see you, and don't assume they're going to stop for you at the crosswalk. And if you're driving, make eye contact with the person. Make sure they are going to cross the road, and just make sure that everyone's being safe. We want to, have everyone come out, get out, enjoy the weather that we're going to have. That's going to be amazing. Enjoy the local scene that we have and what's going on. You need to enjoy it. And if somebody does something and gets injured, it takes all the fun out of it. So we just want everyone to come out, have a great time, make good decisions, and get everyone home safe with a great memory.
One of the things that I've seen a lot more is I've seen a lot more rollerblading recently. That seems to be taking off again, and I'm starting to see those electronic hovercraft things around. And again, but I was reading this article, there's no rules for them. So they're just out and about, making your job a lot harder.
So yeah, if you're going to be out and you're doing all these different recreation things, there's always a safe way to do it, and there's always an unsafe way to do it. So we want people to use common sense. I mean, common sense is the biggest thing. If you come to a stop sign, you have to stop. It doesn't matter if you're on a bicycle, if you're walking, you have to stop at a stop sign. You need to make sure you take that extra step. You don't always see what's coming, and cars as well. If you see something that looks a little bit off, slow down, give them lots of room, and just make sure that you're communicating with your eyes. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is eye contact, and make sure that everybody's going to be safe.
Okay, well, thank you, Constable Gardner, so much for this safety reminder.
Always.
You've been watching Where You Live. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you soon.